Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to update video number 6, I believe. We've had an exciting past 24 hours, and I'm excited to tell you about it. But before we dive in completely, don't forget I do stream on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/ semicolon 23. Um, I would appreciate if you check that out. And yeah, basically everything that you see in these videos I just do on stream. But you get the chance to ask me any questions, and we can have some dialogue about what I'm doing, or what you're doing even. So check that out. So anyways, to kind of dive right into things, I kind of alluded to the past 24 hours being exciting. So ink prices within Inscription have just been kind of wild here recently. So taking a quick look at burnished ink right now, it's 29 gold, 99 silver. But just last night, I was selling stacks of burnished ink for like 49 gold per ink. And I usually post in stacks of 500, so that was like 22k, and it was like per 500, um, and it was just like continuing to sell. It was kind of insane. And you might have noticed in the thumbnail that picture from my mailbox, but um, we'll go to the mailbox here in just a moment. And actually, I should probably just start that because we have quite a few mails. Um, but just from that, last night there was like 700,000 gold in just 100 mails of my mailbox. So that was pretty exciting to see. And one of the contributors to that was I sold a ton of flourishing ink. That also got reset along with burnished ink. So that was pretty exciting to see. So obviously, inks in the past 24 hours have just been going crazy. So I've been going crazy with inks. But other than inks, obviously, I'm keeping the auction house stocked with missives. I basically never want to have a time where I am not posting missives, because I don't think I've ever seen a time where there's not some missives that are profitable. There are certainly times where, one or two might not be profitable. Um, but missives as a whole are generally always profitable. So I've kept the auction house stocked with those. And then chilled runes, I've tried to keep a steady stock on the auction house, but chilled runes have also been kind of unique in the sense that um, for a little bit the price wasn't so great. Um, and part of the reason it wasn't so great is just because Rousing Frost was more expensive. But kind of along with burnished ink being reset, chilled runes briefly got reset, and they still are profitable now from that reset. So I've been trying to keep a steady stock of chilled runes on the auction house. But at one point last night, I believe I was selling some rank 3 chilled runes for almost like 130 gold per, I think. So those have been profitable as well. Um, yeah, basically just like the general routine with Inscription. I think it's important to note that I did get this is actually as of today of recording this, but it has already been a contributor. I did get a second character established with Inscription specifically for ink crafting. Um, so that has been extremely beneficial to essentially just doubling my output on inks. Um, like if I go into Inscription right now, you can see I can craft 5,974 burnished ink. That's the most I've ever been able to craft at a time. I've never had this amount of blazing, flourishing, and serene at any given time. And actually, it was like 7,500. I've since crafted like 1,500. I had like almost 15,000 of each ink. Um, so having setting up an alt to also just AFK craft ink has been unbelievable. So I would definitely recommend that if that's not something that you're currently doing. Um, so I've been going crazy with those inks. I got the alt set up. Um, And then I've also been working on getting a bunch of other alts established so that I can kind of do a lot of work with bags. So I'm going to get more into that here in a moment, but I just wanted to, well, we're done emptying the mailbox. So total gold collected out of the mailbox was 2.86 million gold, putting us at 6.547 million gold. So I'm pretty happy with that, especially when you consider the fact that I mean, like, look at the sheer amount of gold of unsold stuff I have sitting in my inventory right now. Um, like if we looked at flourishing ink, if I were to sell all the flourishing ink that I have right now obviously this is assuming it's sold at this current price, which is an inflated price. Um, but that's 307,000 gold. If we just put it at a price that maybe, let's see what our average sell price is. Our average sell price is 18 gold, 36 silver. So if we just put it to the average sell price of 18 gold, 36 silver, that's still 226k. Or the minimum, which is 6 gold, 18, it's going to go down quite a bit. But that's still 76k gold. And you know, Serene and Blazing are going to have similar prices to that, the 6 gold and 18 silver. So that's still a couple 100,000 gold, and just those inks, not to mention you know, all the burnished that we have, which is 339,000. So you know, there's potential if I were to go through and get all of this ink crafted. 600,000-700,000 gold maybe worth of burnished ink that's sitting in my bags right now. Plus I have, you know, like 100,000 gold worth of well, at this point now it's like 50,000 gold worth of rousing frost, but it's accumulating. And then not to mention these pets, and I'm going to dive into where these pets have come from. But I think you guys get my point. There's still so much potential gold sitting in my bags, but the 2.8 million has already, you know, surpassed what we were previously at from the last update video. So we'll just quickly take a look into that. So at the last update, last empty of the mailbox, we were at 5.191 million gold. And I do remember at that time, it was a similar situation that we're in now, where I had a bunch of unsold stock in my inventory, and I was just, you know, kind of talking to the fact that if it was all sold, I believe when I was recording this video, I said that it would probably have put me between 5.5 and 6 million gold. So obviously we've surpassed that at 6.5 million, with at least another million, I would say, in unsold auctions, especially when you consider everything that's currently on the auction house that hasn't sold. At least another million. So I had originally said that my goal was GOLDCAP, and we are certainly getting close. It's kind of crazy to see how close we're getting, and kind of how quickly this has been going. Just because, like, you know, as a reminder, I suppose, I started back in December 19th. I had 31,000 gold. And where I'm at now is been doing literally everything in these update videos is what I've been doing to get this gold. So that should be proof enough that anybody can do this. It just takes time, and it just takes some effort. It does take work to kind of get to a point where you're, you know, you have this much shit in your bags and you have multiple characters that are contributing to it. It absolutely takes time, but that's all it takes. It's not hard. The hardest part might be, you know, the knowledge and like just knowing what to do next. But hopefully, I'm giving you that guidance in these videos. So it really is just going to be time. So I guess that's my pep talk for the night. But Yeah, so let's take a look at what else we've been doing. So, as I mentioned, some alts. So what I've been doing is, um, I have gotten these three characters to the point where they are now able to do Azure Weave and Chronocloth expedition. Not the bags, the bolts. Um, and so I have five characters now. These three, including this character and this character, that are able to do the bolts. Um, I haven't gone through yet and actually crafted with all of them. They are Most of these characters just recently got the ability to do bolts, and so I'm still kind of waiting for those available crafts to amass. Um, but once they are maxed out, I mean that'll be at least 100 Azure Weave cloth per week that I'm getting, that I'm able to turn into bags. And so that's kind of what I the second thing that I've been doing. So I'll go to my main alt, which is my Demon Hunter. You guys are probably familiar with him. So I've been doing a lot of bags on this guy. Um, Chronocloth, Azure Weave. I have been starting to try to get as many of these assorted embroidery crafts. So these are random toys. And the profit isn't like crazy, right? Like the profit here is 338 gold, 346. This is technically better, but these don't fucking sell. Um, so like the profit is good on these. Um, oh shit, this actually went up. Maybe that's not true. What that's telling me. Um, but they're sales, right? And so like they're easy. Like I can restock. I can craft 3 of each of these. I know they're gonna take a little while to sell, but I craft 3 of each, and then like I don't have to think about them for a while, and I can move on to the next thing. And eventually, I'd like to kind of expand my footprint and be on some additional servers. And so these are something that I would expand with. Um, so these toys, and then I've been getting super into engineering toys. So there's a lot of these engineering toys that are very good money makers, but some of them require frosty souls, fiery souls, earthen souls. Um, so that's why I'm currently in this area. I've got 4 characters that are currently farming each type of soul. So this character currently has 33 frosty souls. So what I did was, when I started, I took each one of my 4 characters to a different farm location for the different type of soul. So one character on frosty, one character on fire, one on earthen, and one on air. I got to each one of them to about 30-ish of their respective soul, and then I took them to a new soul farming location. So for the guy that was farming Frosty Souls, this character, I took him to start farming Airy Souls. And the reason for that is because the centralized precipitation requires Frosty and Airy. And they're obviously soul bound, so I have to farm both of the different types of souls on each character. So then that is the same. So the character that started off on Airy Souls is now farming Frosty. And then it's the same thing, but with the fiery and earthy. So I had one character start on fiery, one character start on earthen, and they've now swapped, and the one that started on fiery is now doing earthen, and vice versa. So I am shooting for roughly 30 of each type of soul on these characters. And then I will basically just submit crafting orders, a ton of crafting orders to this character to craft up all those toys. And then I'll kind of centralize them on one character, and I can then spread them amongst different servers if I've expanded my footprint. Otherwise, I can just kind of put them in the bank for now, so that they're at least in storage, not taking up bag space. And then I would just kind of continue doing that with these souls, because you may have noticed on this character some different pets. So I have like this Tide Spirit pet, I have Gale Spirit, I have another Gale Spirit right here. So these pets, like the Tide Spirit, comes from Frosty Souls. So every single time you open a docile Frosty Soul, you have a chance to loot a Tide Spirit. Every time you open a docile Airy Soul, you have a chance to loot a Gale Spirit. And then same with Earthen and Fire. All four different types of souls have a chance to drop a different type of spirit pet. And look at the price of these pets, like 89,000 gold, 54,000. I've already sold a couple of them, um, and so that's just like easy additional profit on top of farming these souls. I know I'm already gonna earn profit from farming these souls for just selling the toys that I'm crafting from the souls. But these pets are just random additional profit, and those are also something that I can spread amongst different servers once I eventually get to that point. So I'm going to quickly pop over to this alt, just because I want to show some progress I've made in regards to holiday events. But one thing I have also been doing that I would like to highlight as well, we talked a lot about inscription. Uh, Jewel crafting has not been as profitable, and I believe I've alluded to that in previous. I know I've said it in previous streams, and I think in previous videos as well. But jewel crafting recently has been in kind of a lull. The most profit really for jewel crafting is going to be the gem crafting, but that's been just challenging. Season 4, it'll turn around and jewel crafting will be the number one gold making profession for me. But just in the downtime right now, it's just not as good. But with that being said, it's not all bad news. So elemental harmonies can be, or right now actually, especially extremely profitable. I'm probably going to do some crafting on these. Um, but I just want to highlight that I have my rogue. I've gotten alchemy, and I can now craft primal convergence. And typically, when I go through and craft them, they're like 50 to 70 gold profit per craft on the primal convergence. Now I don't go. I sell the rank 3s, but the rank 2s I just turn those into elemental harmonies. So the profit per craft on elemental harmonies isn't going to be 67 gold for me, because the 67 gold is assuming I'm getting the primal convergence for 198 each. But if I'm actually getting them for 130 or 140 each because I'm crafting them, this gold profit per craft goes up by, maybe 40, 30 gold. So that is definitely been one thing that I've been doing in terms of crafting. And then my rogue does have jewel crafting as well, and he's spec'd into prospecting and crushing specifically. So I've been messing with doing crushing on like rank 3 Nosdorites, basically any gem that I can find for cheap. I'm trying to shoot for like right around a 3 gold price per gem. But using rank 3 allows me to guarantee rank 3 silken gem dust. And with rank 3 silken gem dust, I can then craft draconic vials and guarantee rank 3 draconic vials. And right now, that's not profitable with current auction house prices, but usually the price per gem dust is cheaper because I did the crushing. And if the draconic vial rank 3 price was a little bit higher too, then this can be a very valuable thing to do for gold making as well. So that's one thing to consider. Again, it requires alts. It requires kind of expanding, and possibly, it doesn't necessarily require a second account, but maybe multiple tunes on one account that you're just, working them together. But it's certainly doable. So this is kind of the last thing that I just want to showcase in this video. So is the Love is in the Air event for Valentine's Day. So if you're into gold making and you're watching this video, you've you probably watch other content creators and streamers, YouTube videos, whatever. You probably heard a lot of people talking about these when it was relevant. Sorry, it's not relevant anymore, and now I'm talking about them. Maybe next time, but these have been really good, and I guess this can just be food for thought for next time as more holidays are going to approach, and so there's going to be opportunities like this in those as well, most likely. But I went through and I did the quest line, the Love is in the Air quest line, on every character it was available to. There was like 60 plus. And so I got 16 of the date simulation modulators and 16 of the Heartseeker moths, with the expectation that the price on these should rise over time. And then you might recall previously I mentioned that my monk on this account had kind of just like I think he had like 650-ish thousand, maybe 700,000 gold. It was just kind of sitting there. I wasn't really doing anything with it. And I initially wasn't really planning on investing in Swift Lovebirds, especially on this. I guess this is not my main character. On this character, I wasn't really interested in investing in Swift Lovebirds because, I set the goal for reaching GOLDCAP, and if I just dumped a bunch of money into Swift Lovebirds, while that would pay off, it certainly wouldn't be, it would just be taking that money away from the reaching GOLDCAP thing. So I just decided to use every single bit of gold I had on my monk to buy as many Swift Lovebirds as I could, and that turned out to be 12. So I got 12 Swift Lovebirds, and looking at price history, it certainly should go up. I got them for it was basically 50K each. So if the price goes up to 80, 90, or even higher, that'll be awesome. So this is an investment that I know is going to pay off. I just have to be patient, because obviously there's a ton of them on the auction house right now. The price is actually gone down a couple thousand gold since I bought them, but it certainly will go up as the available quantity starts to diminish. So I hope you all enjoyed this update video. Don't forget, I am live on Twitch occasionally. I don't have a set schedule now, but usually I go live a couple times a week, and I try to spend a little bit more time going live during the weekends. But feel free to swing by. Again, it's twitch.tv/semicolon23. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave feedback in the comments. I've been really enjoying some of the feedback that I get. Some people leave comments saying like, "Oh, just get a job at 7-Eleven and buy a token." I don't know. Like, if that's your solution, that's crazy. But feedback's always welcome. Whatever you want to say, if it's talking shit, by all means, talk your shit if that makes you feel good. But yeah, like and subscribe. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, morning, night, work shift, whatever it is. Take care. See ya.